Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's episode 15 of the Common Woman Podcast.
Woo! 15. Wow. So exciting.
Yes, and we're excited because we have Natasha back in the comment room.
Hello. I'm so happy to be back. Thank you, ladies, for having me again.
We're so happy you're here.
Thank you.
Especially for this topic that we have today.
She's been in my struggle.
Haven't many of us. Not Cortnie, though, because she's had Babe for a long time.
Oh, but beforehand. Before him? Oh, forget it. It was crazy. But I'm your host, Cortnie. I'm joined by the lovely
Melissa.
Yes.
and the incomparable, handsome Puerto Rican prince, Babe. And as I said before, Natasha's back with us.
Yes.
We got some good feedback from the last episode that you were on with us. A lot of
so
people love your voice.
that.
They say you have a great voice for the podcast.
Thank you.
So we are so happy once again to have you.
Yeah. I'm happy to be back.
Yes. So what we're talking about today is internet dating.
Wah, wah, wah.
You can already see where this is going.
The struggle. I'm no longer in the struggle, but I have been in that struggle, and it is real.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to the struggle that comes with internet dating and just dating in general. You know, I can't remember like how it was. Like I remember bits and pieces because I was doing internet dating when it like first started to come out with like your sister-in-law mentioned Mi Gente.
Yeah,
Mi
that's
Gente
old.
and Black Planet. That's when I was
You
doing
were
it.
definitely like 17.
Yeah, I was mad young.
Well, I was in
That's
college when I was doing Black Planet, so that was like 99, 2000.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that
God.
was a long time ago.
Can you imagine? That's 20 years ago now.
We're on a new breed of men on
Don't
online
you feel
dating.
like back in the day when it first started that it wasn't as like it was more taboo to do that, like meet dudes online.
Mm-hmm.
I would do it in secret. Not in secret, like I would tell my closest I would tell my closest friends, and sometimes they would come with me just so that I wouldn't get abducted or anything like that. But I did think it was kind of akin to responding to like a classified ad or something like that. Like, I thought it was like a little
That's true.
desperate.
I never did it back then.
Yeah.
I never did it. No, I never did it back then.
I was like you. I would always have somebody either come with me or I would tell them where I was going to go or I'd meet in a super public place.
Sure.
Like I met this dude one time in a 7-Eleven parking lot where I knew there was always cops in the parking lot.
Oh, okay.
So it's like we always tried to make it real like out in the open just in case. You never know who you're going to get. You know?
I feel like that's how you know you're young as hell. You made it in the parking lot. Yeah.
Now it's like Starbucks or let's grab a quick drink at a bar for a happy hour just to kind of check each other out to make sure that you're not some psycho Looney Tune.
Yeah.
You know, so
well, you know, some people can hold it out for a little bit.
oh yes, we're gonna get there.
How do you know that, babe?
Some can and then some just can't. The crazies on
It's
like
just
the
evident.
first date sometimes.
You see that look in their eyes sometimes.
Girl,
You're like,
I got a
crazy.
story
Yo.
about these dudes, man.
I went on a date with a dude one time and we went to a diner and the way that he was treating the waitress was just ridiculous. I saw like a cartoon or something recently that said like the way that a person treats a waitress is like telling of the type of person that they are. So he like was flipping out on the waitress because of like some minor like thing that was messed up about the order, and I'm just like, I don't know about this guy.
That happened to me once, but he wasn't online. But my God, I was mortified in the Applebee's. I was mortified in Applebee's.
So I too had a similar situation like that, but it was not an online guy. It was a guy that I knew from, I met him in the street when I used to work in Manhattan years ago. But he was rude and uncomfortable with our waiter because he was a flaming gay man.
Oh.
So for that reason was why he was rude. He didn't give him eye contact.
Oh my
didn't
God.
say thank you. Didn't say please. He was very short with him. And it made me feel so uncomfortable. I was mortified. That was the last time that I saw that man.
Yeah,
because if you're so uncomfortable in this man living his best life here, serving us at the famous Dave's, then
better than the Applebee's.
Yeah, he worked for Verizon. He had a little bit
Step
of
up, y'all.
Oh no, this guy was the whole problem.
Oh my God. But it does say a lot about a person's character and their integrity, how they treat other people, especially people in the service industry.
Very true.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Nor do we want you flirting with said waitress. But anyway.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's the same though now, like dating on the internet, that you have to be like super cautious? I mean, I guess you have to be cautious whenever you're meeting new people, but do you feel like it got any better now that we're in the age of like everyone's on social media, everyone's on the internet? It's like commonplace to meet people this way.
You know, I think that we are dealing with a different animal today than from years ago. I do think it is more commonplace to meet people on the internet, but I think that safety still has to be a priority. You know, we see these news stories about people across the country that met up with someone that they met online and never came home and never was seen again. You know, and I think that you still have to Find My Friends is a great resource.
Yeah, I always tell my girls when I'm going on a date with a stranger.
Seriously.
It's very smart.
To check up on me and call me after a while. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
But
to have the
I always, and I always make sure they don't pick me up, especially for a first date. I'm gonna meet you wherever it is we're going, but I need my out, and you don't need to know where I live.
Yeah, no, because these people won't go away. Sometimes they'll show up if like the date doesn't go well and you don't call them. And
I prefer FaceTime before we even go out. Honestly,
oh, that's
I
a good
do.
point.
I want to make sure we're not a catfish. Let me see.
So
what I'm dealing
that
with.
is so funny because one of my stories, and I think you know about this too, when I first started online dating back in like 2012 after a really bad breakup, right? I had been communicating. Yes.
Okay.
I had been communicating with this guy on Plenty of Fish, and we did a lot of back and forth on the website, and then we exchanged phone numbers and we were texting, and we had never had a conversation, but we had already scheduled a plan to meet for a date, right? And I wasn't big on FaceTime back then. I probably had a Samsung Galaxy, like a 3 or 4, something like that, way back. And I said, you know, if I'm going to meet up with this man, I at least need to hear his voice, have a phone conversation with him before meeting up. So I called him and I said, hey, just trying to figure out what time is going to work for you later. He was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just chilling and shit, you know? So, you know, whatever time is good for you and shit. You know what I mean? No. I said, oh, so, okay.
Awesome line.
Oh, my God.
I was like.
Clearly, he was very articulate.
So.
You know what I'm saying?
Did you hang out last night or something? Not really. You know, I just got together with my niggas and shit.
Oh, God.
You know, we were just hanging out around the crib and shit, you know. But, yeah, I'm looking forward.
Eloquent.
I'm looking forward to seeing you later and shit. I was like, okay, well, let me hop off this phone because I have a couple things to take care of before we get together, and I'll text you what time is going to work for me. I never met that man. I probably texted him 15 minutes later to say, oh, sorry, something came up, and I am not meeting up with you.
Yeah.
So, to that point, a phone conversation, a FaceTime before linking up, I think is very important.
Can't just go off the picture.
I made a date with a guy just off the site. Like, same day he hit me up, we decided to meet.
Oh.
So last minute I called. I don't remember what I called to say, but when he answered the phone, he had such a high-pitched voice. He was like, hey, and I was like, I had to pause and look at the phone. Like, did I call? Like, wait. And I was like, is this so-and-so?
Was it like, it's John?
just keep the first half of what you said. It just
was.
was.
He just stayed up there.
Yeah, it was. It was like I was so like I really was like, do I want to do this? Just off his voice. I did do it. I still went. You know what? I was like, I already said I was gonna go.
No, bueno.
I'm just gonna go.
You better
I'm just
than
gonna
me.
go. I went. He was really sweet, attractive guy, but that voice.
First impressions, man.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think I. Yeah. I don't know.
It's bad when he screams
But
louder
you know what?
than you.
Those things are important.
He would definitely scream louder than me.
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
So I was like, so it was a nice.
Oh my God.
It was a nice time, but I was like, I'm not gonna see this man again.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not.
important. You have
But
to
I
be
still
attracted to various qualities in the person.
It made no sense too. I live in Queens, and I went all the way to Manhattan after a snowstorm.
Oh my goodness.
To hang out.
All the
I
way
still
to
did it.
Manhattan?
I did. I don't know why I did this. I don't know. I think I was already like dressed with makeup, and I was just like, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna go.
I think later on we'll talk about, in my opinion, how to approach it with the right intention. I feel like sometimes women, we do it pressed.
Yeah.
You know, I've done it, you know, in a period of time where I maybe felt lonely or was just trying to not feel the hurt feelings about my breakup at the time. And I just don't think that that's the right spirit to approach online dating.
Or boredom.
And I wonder.
Or boredom, yeah.
Well, I'm kind of jaded when it comes to internet dating because I feel like the intention that the dudes tend to come with is to have sex.
I want to fuck. That's how they go.
Every single dude that I met online.
I don't want to say
just
every
wanted
single
that.
one because I didn't have that experience. A lot of them.
Yeah.
I will say a lot of them.
Yeah.
But
Same,
not every single one.
Is there a difference in the quality of men between the different websites? Because I did a poll. I took a poll and I asked.
You conducted a poll?
I conducted a poll. What websites everybody uses, and it was different. Like some people met people on OkCupid, some did Plenty of Fish, Mi Gente. What was the other one? I don't remember the other one.
You know what I bet no
Facebook
one
and
said?
Instagram.
I've done
I bet no one said eHarmony.
No, nobody did.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
You gotta
Dr.
pay for that, don't
So-and-so
you?
You do. You do.
Match too.
And Match.
I did Match.
So did I.
I did Match, and then I did Plenty of Fish.
Is Plenty of Fish free or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's extremely free. And let me tell you, the free ones, there's a lot of action.
That's what but you can get craziness up in there. Too.
Yeah. I mean, there's a ton of action. As soon as you sign up for a joint like Plenty of Fish, or I've never done Tinder.
Me either.
But I've done Plenty of Fish, and my entree into online dating was a long time ago with Black Singles, and then with Match, and then Plenty of Fish. And there was
People Meet was the other one.
Yes.
Sorry.
And I think that's the new version of Black Singles. There was some action on that, but there was, I hate to say this, a lot of corny black men.
Girl.
Oh, I hate to say that.
But it's dating sites, period. There's corny people everywhere.
I feel bad for them. I feel like I'm going to be another disappointment to them when I see them in person because I'm not going to see them again. Some of them can show up with some good, they can show up with good swag in the texting and the phone calls and stuff. But when you
That's
see
because
them,
it ain't them texting.
Oh, shit.
they're getting help. They must be.
They probably are.
They must be getting help.
They probably
From
are.
their homie.
The cool one.
Yeah.
The Thotimus Prime.
Thotimus Prime. Have you ever been catfished?
Sort of, kind
How to
of.
think about it.
Sort of, kind of.
I want to say it's not necessarily catfish. What they tend to do is they'll put an older, younger, cuter pic of themselves,
slimmer,
and then they come and it's clearly 10 years.
buff.
It's clearly 10 years later,
Sure.
and you didn't update that pic.
Yes,
Oh my God.
I have had that.
Yeah.
So my catfish is a pseudo catfish, I'll say.
Is this what you mentioned before?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
this is what
I
I
want to
mentioned
hear this
before.
one.
Me too.
So I met this guy on one of these websites. I mean, he was an attractive man. He was probably like 6 foot tall, black man. He was a lighter skinned guy, and he had like hazel eyes, and he was like
he was doing it
stocky,
yeah,
you know, like
he
was really handsome.
Those were his eyes?
They were. They were not contact lenses.
Don't be hating over there.
My eyes are light too.
Don't be
He had
hating.
beautiful eyes,
Yeah,
babe.
I have pretty eyes.
And this wasn't one of those obvious things, because first impressions were great. We had good phone conversation before we met. We met for a drink first, and then we had a proper dinner the second date, and then the third date, I think we went to lunch or something. And I think we went on a total of 4 dates. It was probably over the span of 3 or 4 weeks, right? So on our third date, I said to him, "Tell me something about yourself that I would be surprised to know."
That is such a good question.
That is a great question.
It is.
I'm going to ask you that later, babe.
I think you know everything about babe.
Seriously.
You never know. There might be something.
Well, yes. And so, hence the question. What would I be shocked by?
Mm-hmm.
What would be interesting or different about you that a person wouldn't necessarily expect? Leave it open-ended. Share whatever you want to share. So
I need this right now. Get to it. Get to it.
So he started scrolling through his phone and looking for pictures.
Oh, he was a she.
And I was like, "You're very perceptive. You're very perceptive."
He's
So
a she? No.
no. So he was like, "Well, I kind of know how you feel about this already." I said, "You do?" I said, "Why?" He said, "Because I tested you a little on our first date.
Boy.
And you said something that led me to believe that you probably won't be okay with what I'm about to show you." And so he found what he was looking for. And he said, "I just need you to have an open mind."
Oh, boy.
Oh,
The buildup.
Yeah, it was a ton of buildup. And then he started to show me. He said, "No, I don't know
Oh, no, you can't
if
do
I
that.
should do this." I said the very same thing. I said, "Well, you can't. We're here now. You got to show me."
You can't renege.
Yeah. So then he surrenders his phone. He flips it over, and it's a picture of him in full drag.
What?
He's a Bruce Jenner.
Absolutely. Full drag.
Wow.
Head to toe, wig, makeup, heels, tights, everything. So then I am looking at the picture, looking at him, looking at the picture, like expanding the picture, and it is my dude, this big, stocky, 6 foot guy, 200 and something pound, in some plus size clothes, tights and heels, and a wig. He was cute, you know. He was cute. I must admit. Then I started thinking back, like, all right,
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
let me give you some backstory.
So
the
confused.
makeup in the morning first.
So let me give you how the rest of the conversation proceeded. First,
I know you did it all.
wait. Let me back up. So
The
I thought
ratchet
that
would've
this
came out.
guy. No, I didn't. I was very kind.
No,
to
I
him.
know. You are
Yeah.
that. No, I would have been a different breed after that. The ignorance that would have came out of my mouth.
No, you know,
Anyway.
I
I don't
felt
know
it
what I would've
important not to shame him because I appreciated his honesty.
Yeah.
And I'm going to need him to continue to be honest with the future ladies that he's going to meet.
Yeah.
Because this thing is about to be a wrap, right?
I know that's right.
So
That was a deal breaker.
what was impressive about this guy was that, and also a red flag now, he had served many years in jail.
He
But
dropped
No bueno.
but he
That's exactly what it was.
It's horrible.
it's terrible. Oh my
You
god.
gotta get that commissary. I
Get that discount, yeah.
hate you. Just put these tights on. All right, man.
Oh
Just throw
my
something in the
God.
bank.
How? Even for protection so that nobody else come and rape him. I mean, who knows?
Oh gosh.
Who knows how
All
it
right,
even
this,
got
This took a turn.
Yeah,
All right, let's
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Let's
all right,
go.
all right. But although he spent time in prison, he did turn his life around.
Mm-hmm.
When he came out, he went to college. Oh my God, she's still laughing.
There's so many levels
came
to
out
this.
and turned his life around. And my head just went.
Oh God.
My head just went.
Oh my God.
Okay. I'm sorry. I wasn't ready for this. I don't think I was ready for this story. All right.
So
All right.
he went to college. He became a registered nurse.
Oh damn!
Yeah. You may know
You
him.
know him.
You may know him.
You might be right. It's a small world.
And there aren't many men in the nursing that
He
are
practices in New
RNs.
York?
He does, and he
my
doesn't live too far
gosh.
from here.
Yeah.
Or
Oh
he
my
didn't
God.
years ago.
Probably works where I work.
Probably.
Do you know any nurses with hazel eyes?
Stop it. Don't do that.
Wait.
Don't do that. I don't.
Later.
Don't do that.
He's kind of stocky.
Yes.
Did he used to have his hair like straight?
No, not that I
And
recall.
now he has it like kind of. in a
I
bun?
see. I didn't stay around for very long. I was in his life
I
for
want to
about.
say the bun isn't far fetched.
Listen, I was
All
in and
right.
out of that man's life in
All
30
right.
days.
So wait. So
Okay. So what impressed me about him though was that after he completed all of his studies, the board for New York State didn't want to give him his nursing license because of his criminal past.
Yeah, they're
He
very strict with
He
that.
appealed. He got letters of recommendation. He really overcame adversity.
All right, girl. What was your reaction? Because I
Okay,
don't care about
okay.
this man's job.
Okay. My reaction to him was, wow, that's a lot, and I'm going to need some time to process that. But thank you so much for being so brave and honest with me.
That was nice.
She hit him with
though.
a thank you.
Let me tell you
Sir.
what his response to that was.
Okay.
Oh my God, I think I could love you.
Aww.
I feel so
Wow.
much closer to you now that I shared this secret with you.
Aww.
And I feel like you didn't judge me. And I think that we could be a great thing together.
Aww.
Yeah. But his I
This is like,
She's like, nah.
Girl,
He-
my first reaction would be like, wait though. Are you straight?
so
Yeah.
I asked.
Or are you like half?
Mm.
Like that
Half-half.
ignorance would have came out.
No, I asked. I did ask. I
But
said,
that's how I would have asked.
you know, so you're not into guys or anything? He said, absolutely not. I just love the art of disguise. I love the art of disguise. And he has often complimented me on my
I
clothing,
know he has, girl.
my shoes,
He
my
probably would have your
makeup.
wardrobe.
I'm not buying it. The art of disguise?
That's what he
That was
said.
smooth.
That's what he said. He
Smooth
said,
It means you're hiding your true identity?
Mm-hmm.
he also said that his ideal relationship would be a lover's relationship, but also a friendship where we could both get dressed up and go out on a night
It's another
Oh.
dude.
as a night
My
I'm
God.
stumbling
He
For
wants
a
to
night
share shoes.
on the town as friends, right?
What?
Yeah,
I'm
like
so confused.
no,
He's confused, clearly.
he says that he has done that in his past relationships, and when they would get home, they would just go at it because it was just so much fun.
Excitement.
Yeah.
So, like, he would be your girlfriend?
This wouldn't
For
do
the
anything
night.
for me.
for the night, and not
Wow.
like
But there's
my
a lot of dudes who
not
are
like
into
my
that.
girlfriend.
Well, I don't
Like,
know a
because
lot,
I'm
but-
not into women, so him dressing in drag wouldn't do anything for me. But we would go out like buddies because I'm not
Like your homegirl.
yeah, I'm not tonguing down some dude in drag.
Wow.
Hmm.
So
Wow. That's a lot.
in any case, the test, he said that he tested me or
Yeah,
quizzed
yeah,
me on the
yeah,
first
yeah.
date, and he kind of knew how I felt about it. The restaurant that we went to on our first date was literally around the corner from your home. We went to the barbecue pit.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, that was like our second date. That was our second date. But that was the dinner that we had. And we, there was a TV on, and RuPaul's Drag Race was on the TV.
He was like, "That's much," you know.
And he was like,
No.
"Oh, do you watch that show?" And I said, "No." He said, "Oh, would you have a problem like if there was a dude that dressed in drag?" And it just totally went over my head. I recall it once he said it, but I didn't remember it at the time. I said, "No, I like manly men."
Mm.
And he verbatim repeated my words. So I knew I
Wow.
must have said it, but I
Mhm.
didn't remember that he had thrown that out there. And we just like pressed on. I didn't ask further. He didn't ask further. And so he kind of knew from then that was going to be something that I wasn't into.
That is so interesting to me, though, because I don't know of any like men that dress up in drag that are heterosexual.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's just like a really ignorant, way of thinking, but I don't know if you guys remember that story I told about the guy that I thought liked me, but then he told me he was gay.
Yeah.
He grew up and he was on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh, wow.
And now he's like full on drag queen, but he was gay.
Wow.
So it's like I equate those two things. I don't know.
No, I wouldn't equate.
I do too.
See, I don't know that I would. I do think that
I think it's gonna get
most people that like drag are probably homosexual, but most homosexuals are not into drag. Is my thought. So that's why I would separate the two. You understand?
Yeah.
I don't think that there are very many straight men that would be into drag.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, I don't know. I could be wrong.
So,
oh my gosh.
He said, I asked him about, well, you say you want to start a family. Like, how does this lifestyle fit into having children?
Good question.
And he said, well, once I have children, I would stop this immediately. I wouldn't do this anymore.
That's not
I
true.
don't believe that.
It's
I
BS.
don't-
It's BS.
yeah.
Absolutely.
He's gonna be a Bruce Jenner.
Yes, I agree.
But why would he feel like he needed to stop for his children if he didn't think there was anything wrong with what he was doing?
Because he felt like he didn't want to, he could be honest enough to say that he felt like he didn't want to confuse the children.
Okay.
But yes, you're right. That's a great.
I'm confused. He's
very
confused. Everybody's
I'm very
confused.
confused. But you know what? I really appreciate his honesty.
Yeah.
Like you said, I really.
And
Oh my
that's
God!
dope
If you
that he
had
told you.
done like a year with him,
Oh,
to
God.
then, how
To then find-
horrifying.
So
yeah.
I did go on one last date with him after that. And that was, here I am too nice. Since I had gone on a few dates with him, I was like, all right, I'm going to break this thing off with him face to face. He was nice enough, kind
You're
enough
so
to tell me face
I'm
to
over
face.
here months in texting out. Nice.
So we met and I said, listen, you're a really nice guy. And I know that there's another woman that's probably going to make you very happy. But I just don't think that you and I are going to be a good fit. So he said, I'm so disappointed to hear that. And then he said, but can I ask why? Was it something that I said?
Or was it the makeup?
Or
Was it the eyeliner?
picture I showed? I don't.
Yeah. So
Your makeup looking better than mine.
at that point, I was like, all right, I'm not about to tear this man down. And if he is so unself-aware to know what's going on, then this is even more of a sign that I shouldn't even be here. But I'm still going to be nice. And I copped out. I said, I'm still hurting from my breakup. And I'm just
put it on you.
not ready.
It's not you, it's me.
Yeah, I did that. And that's how we ended
But
it.
you really think he didn't know? I think he was asking you just like he did the first time.
Yeah. I think he wanted to see.
He wanted to
He
hear
wanted
it.
to
To see
see.
if you would admit it or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I don't want to shame him, and I want him to keep that honesty going.
Absolutely.
Keep that honesty
He
going.
seemed like he was a good guy.
Yeah, he was nice. He was really nice, and he was very attractive. Too bad. Too bad. So that's my catfish. It wasn't like the typical catfish where you're communicating with someone
That
for a
was
long
crazy
time.
catfish.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It wasn't like you're communicating with someone for a long time and then a different person
That
shows
was
up.
worse than the 0 kids to 3 to
You
me.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was worse to me.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
don't know how I would have
gosh.
handled that situation at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
It was
heavy.
a challenge. It was a challenge. But I kept.
I'm still
Shocked.
bugging out. I'm still bugging out.
Listen, at the end of the day, I kept saying golden rule: do unto others. How would you want to be treated?
Word. It's very
That's how you
important.
gotta move.
It's very important.
So
I'm sure
much
he
more mature
appreciated
than
that.
me, girl.
Yeah.
So much
And
more.
it gave me a good story that I'm here to tell even 7 years later.
You know? I didn't introduce the drinks that we're drinking today.
Oh,
Babe made us painkillers.
Oh, yes. So tasty.
They're delicious. They're kind of like pina coladas, right?
Yeah, they're like pina coladas on steroids.
On steroids. Depending on what level of pain you have, determines the amount of alcohol that's in your painkiller.
I'm hurt up right now.
We're going to have to get our second dose coming up soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
That story has me so fucked up.
I know.
Oh my God.
Y'all need to be out here asking every dude y'all go on a date with.
Ain't that the crazy shit?
Tell me something about yourself that I would be surprised to know.
Oh,
That's
no. I'm asking.
Let's
do
be
you
more
wear
specific.
women's clothes?
Do
you dress up as a woman?
Do you have heels in your closet?
Right.
I asked him about his sexuality. I'm not gay. Never been attracted to men. Never been with a man. I don't know. Your time away.
Yet.
Yeah. It's
do you know that I had a guy? Okay, so this guy online, we only got to FaceTime. We didn't get to go on a date. I'll tell you why. We're on the phone, and this is before we meet. He wants to talk about things that he likes. I don't even know how the conversation. You guys are ridiculous, by the way. Because conversations
in the bedroom.
I remember
before you even meet him.
Exactly. But this is I've had this come up a lot. But I normally don't entertain this. But what was coming out of his mouth had me fucked up.
He was like, word?
I remember this.
We
you're stuttering.
Wow.
He said that we would not work out, okay, because I would refuse to toss a man salad. He enjoys his salad toss.
Tell him to go get some tongs.
And that's a deal breaker.
Seriously.
That was a deal breaker.
Because you wouldn't do it to him.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it to him.
Yo, what
so
type
I have
of
a whole
freak
problem.
is not willing to see a woman because she is not comfortable with sticking her tongue up his behind?
Yes.
Like, what kind of dirty girl is he trying to attract out here in these streets?
And
then
this
you know
is
he
not
would be
the
trying to get that from you
first.
often.
And this is not the first guy that I've spoken to
You know
that
what it was?
likes
'Cause you
anal
told me.
action.
Like,
You know
that's
what it was?
suspect to me.
That's beyond suspect to me.
Super suspect.
I don't even like
you gotta
guys
stop
who do
telling
it to
people
me.
you're vegan.
Mm-hmm.
No,
What'd
get
you
the hell out
say?
of here.
What'd you say?
Get the hell out of here.
You gotta stop telling people you're vegan.
What does that mean, though?
Salad.
I hate you. You're so stupid.
You're dumb.
You're so. I wish I had a womp button.
Oh my God.
So stupid.
Oh my goodness.
But there's guys out here that
love ass play.
and
Nah.
I said it last time that I don't even like the guys that do it to me because now I don't want to kiss you. Like, how much ass are you eating all day? Like, I just feel very uncomfortable with the whole process.
I don't want a mouthful of booty hole.
You know what I'm saying?
But in their defense, men have like a G spot down there, don't they?
Yes, they do.
So that's probably why they like
Leave
it.
that spot the fuck alone. Leave it alone. From what I understand, there's a G spot also between the balls and the anus.
Yes.
There's like a little spot.
But you
I
have
fuck with
to.
that
But
if
no,
you're
no,
my
no, no.
man. But that booty hole is off limits. But
You
you
have to
gotta be
go
my
in the booty hole
man,
to get
man.
it,
That's as
though.
close
What
as
you
you get.
mean?
You gotta go in the booty hole to get it.
No, you're talking about the.
No.
You're talking about the other one.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
There's
Okay.
a deeper one.
Yeah, because I was gonna say my
The one
fingernails
in
are not even
between.
conducive to that.
No, the
If I gotta stick my finger in your ass, we got a whole problem. We got a whole fucking problem.
If you got nails,
We got a
stuff
whole-
is gonna get under
We
your
have a
nails.
whole
Yeah.
problem. Why do you like I can't. Because you're gonna graduate from that finger, sir. A finger will soon not be enough.
Well, let me also say in their defense. Right? An older man once said, and he was like a great uncle.
Mm-hmm.
He had prostate cancer, and he used to have to often get prostate exams from his doctor, but a digital, like,
yeah, that's how they do it.
and so
I'm not ready for what you're
I know.
this grandfather would say as soon as the doctor goes in, immediate erection.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Immediate erection.
Awkward.
He's not even attracted to the doctor or anything, but it's just the anatomy is set up that way that when you go in and hit that spot on a man, it's like, boop, some of them come immediately.
Yeah.
When that happens. So in their defense, it's not necessarily gay action.
What'd you say?
She said, give me some gloves.
Exits only.
Shit.
And some lube. And some lube.
She got your back, babe. Finger and all. Get the lube.
Let me know.
Get the
got some gloves
lube.
upstairs.
She's ready.
Exits only here.
She's ready.
Nothing goes in, it all comes out.
And you ain't got to go all the way in. I think you just got to put like that much in. Like the first.
That's too much.
I'm gonna
Being
tell.
near it is too much.
I'm gonna tell a very gross.
That's funny.
Very gross.
I think we're
intimate story.
digressing down the sex
This is
path.
going
Down
very
the
bad.
rabbit hole?
I'm gonna do it. I wasn't gonna do it, but fuck it. I'm gonna do it.
Uh-oh.
I have an ex. I was young. I think I was like 20, 19, 20. And I used to hate. He was a freak. He had, whatever. Anyway. And I used to hate when he would stick his finger. And one day I was like, I'm going to get him back. And I did it.
Oh, my God. Without
He's
warning.
like, how you like that?
Oh,
God.
Melissa, did he hit you?
No, girl.
You pulled it back with son.
No.
Oh, God.
He was like, do it again.
He was so conflicted. I watched the emotions flash across his face.
Like, ooh,
He was very bothered and excited at the same time. He looked like he wanted to cry because he didn't. I feel like he didn't know if I just changed his life.
You just made him gay and he didn't know.
I feel like he had a moment of, did I just turn gay?
Oh, my God.
Because he thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, my God.
And I just, and I was such a little asshole because I remember laughing
Oh, that's
and
dirty.
continuing like, yeah, bitch.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God.
I never did it again, but I know
Yeah.
that I changed him after that
no.
moment.
Wow.
I did. I changed him after that moment.
Oh, I guess it takes just one experience, huh?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I often test the people that I'm with to see if they'll allow me to stick the finger in. And I tell them all these facts. I tell them all these facts that I just shared with you guys.
You inch it closer and closer?
Yeah.
Oh my
but
gosh.
it's secretly a test because if you let me in, then I'm going to look at you funny.
Yes.
And
yes.
so far, I am 100% exit only. So
Yeah.
I'm good money. I'm good.
Yeah.
that's a way to test.
I'm not gonna lie. I tested like 2 or 3
Yeah.
people, and they shot me down, and I was like, "Good,
Yes,
thank God,
yes.
thank God."
You passed the
But
test.
it's sad that I gotta do this shit. If I see you have real potential to go forward, I'ma test that ass.
Oh my God.
You better shut me down.
There was one woman that shared with me that she introduced it with her husband, and she was like, he loved it. Like, now he props the booty up for her.
Oh,
like,
gosh.
I don't ever want to see you in a propped up position.
Never gonna happen.
What is happening?
I don't know. It's the painkillers. It's the painkillers.
He's poking it out real quick. Oh,
Oh,
baby.
hell no.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm done. I'm done.
Spreading the cheeks and everything.
Oh,
Oh,
Come on now.
Oh,
Come on now.
Everybody's got,
How about that
their
salad?
special.
A potentially messy salad.
that is disgusting.
Yeah, we digress.
Okay.
We took a
All
whole.
right.
Okay. Yeah, that went away from online dating.
But see, these are the things you may encounter when you meet
Yeah.
people online.
I
You never
tell
The
know.
things you will encounter.
Right.
So anyway.
With interesting fetishes that
Yeah.
want to share even before you get to the
So,
first date. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
we did not need to go on a damn date.
No, thank
Talk
you for
about
showing
sauce and a
yourself
salad.
early.
That was crazy.
Thank you. Sometimes I used to be disappointed, but then later on, I used to be like, you know what? I'm glad that you're exposing yourself early. Thank you. You did me a favor. I'm not gonna waste my time.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
it's funny how they do it. Like, he tried to make it like, oh, you're so closed off to good, like, different sex. No, motherfucker, I'm not. Okay, take your
Sometimes-
dirty butthole the fuck up out of here.
Seriously. And
Don't
you
try
know
to
what
come
though?
at me and mind fuck me with
I'm
that.
okay with that. Come at me like, you're right, sir. You're right. I am not as open-minded as I thought I was. I'm going to need to reflect on that. You have a nice day.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Because they will eventually meet somebody who will
Done.
be completely down for it.
I'm telling you.
There's a lot
Somebody
of
tossing his
here.
salad. He was a pretty guy.
Yeah.
Somebody out there right now is tossing that salad.
And whoever he gets, she probably tossed a lot of salads before him.
Oh, that's that yuck mouth.
Yeah.
I'm not here for the yuck mouth.
What dirty girl he looking for? But
You're always going to wonder what he's got stuck in his teeth.
You're so stupid.
I was already over the edge with this. Now,
Oh my God. There are.
Under the fingernails, all types of shit, huh?
Word.
Shit everywhere.
I was wondering why you smelled so funny. Like,
Ugh.
He don't work in construction.
That's
Oh.
crazy.
Oh.
that nasty line of dirt. You think it's dirt? It's not dirt.
And he doesn't work in the garage.
Shoot.
No.
Beware of anyone with dirty nails now. What's in there?
Aside from that, I just
Yeah,
feel
that's
like there are
stupid.
all types of crazies, like dudes with fetishes, insecure dudes, mama's boys.
I've met all of these. Minus the cross dresser.
Oh, and you mentioned earlier the busy guy.
Yeah.
The busy guy.
Yeah.
But
I
if you're
met one
busy, why?
genuinely busy guy. The others,
Yes.
I was like, motherfucker.
The others are busy juggling the women that are coming
Yeah.
and sliding into their DMs.
You
trying
work
to
in
figure out.
finance. How fucking busy are you?
Oh, God.
Get out of here.
Yo, the stock market closes at 5.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But what are the rules when it comes to dating online? Like, how many people? Like, how does that work?
No rules.
It's personal rules.
Yeah.
I would get 3 or 4 and then get off.
Right.
And then
And
see
juggle
how it
those and
goes.
see. Because it's almost like natural
Yeah.
selection. Like somebody's bound to like eliminate themselves.
Yeah,
you just-
they do.
You just play with that little round that you pick up and then shut the
Yes.
page down and see what happens with that
But
round.
are they aware that there's others in the running?
They
better
have to be because they have others
They're
in the
doing the
running.
same
thing.
It's just,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Sometimes you talk openly about it. Sometimes you don't. Honestly, I don't really talk openly about it with them. I lie. I tell them that I'm only seeing one person. Yeah. Because I just don't want to go down that path.
I lied to some of them.
And yes, if I'm
Some
really
of them I
can't
kept it
handle
real.
it.
Some of them I
right,
didn't.
but if I'm really interested in the person, I lie.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny though?
I thought she was gonna say,
You know
"I'll
what's-
cut everybody else."
No,
off."
you know what's
No,
funny
I'll-
is that if I'm interested, I do the opposite.
You tell the truth.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I want you to know that
Okay.
you have work.
Yeah,
Okay.
but come on.
You
don't
could
think they know
come on
this?
top because I
They
like
have
you,
to know.
Of
but
course
you
they
gotta
have
put
to
in
know.
work.
Yeah, they must.
They, have
They
to know.
must.
They're on this public website where everybody's doing
Right.
the same thing.
Yeah.
Even if you tell them, they're like, okay. You know?
Yeah. I've even been disappointed where I've been dating someone for, let's say, a few months, and then I see that they still have their profile up, and I thought that it was heading somewhere, and it turns out it wasn't, because they're still out there looking, and we're spending, like, a lot of time together, like, not just weekend time, but weekday time, too.
Yeah.
And it's not like a thing where they just forgot to take their profile down. Or?
Who knows? I don't. In the situation, I never asked, but I kind of knew that. I kind of knew where I stood, even though we were spending a lot of time together. So I just was in my feelings, and I just ended it for other reasons, but
Yeah.
not being honest about that.
You could tell.
Yeah,
You could tell. Yeah, you could tell. These fucking guys.
yeah. It's hard to establish rules with the online piece because you meet in this forum where everyone is playing around, and you also don't want to seem too pressed. You don't want to seem too desperate or eager.
It's exhausting.
It is.
It's
It sounds like it.
exhausting.
It is. It can be. It can be.
Yeah.
But I even though it's exhausting and even though there are crazy stories that come from it, I do think that it's a great way to meet people that you wouldn't otherwise meet. But with that said, you still gotta check these dudes out. You gotta make sure that they're 100, and many of them aren't. Many of them are looking for the same thing, looking for a distraction, looking to meet other people because they're heartbroken.
Do they actually put like on their profile like what they're looking for? Like, I'm looking for a relationship, or is it just like
they all say
basic facts?
Some of them are kind of honest, because some of them will say not looking for something serious. Some of it will say that. And some of it will say looking for friends or looking for dating, and then some say looking for a relationship, and then some say looking for marriage.
Right.
I honestly avoid those. That's the funny shit. I'm looking for like, I want to get married too, but that to me just sounds you're gonna be very extra.
Yeah. Like, you're gonna try and lock it down.
Like second date, like some 90-Day Fiance type shit. Like second date, you're gonna try to propose. I'm not on that.
It reads desperate. It does, and you don't want to come across that way. You know?
Even though my profile definitely said, I'm not looking for a text friend or some shit like that, because so many guys will get your number and want to text you for months.
I don't even understand.
For like a month or two, I never ask for a date. It's just constant text communication. Who the fuck knows?
It's like a pen pal.
Like a pen pal. That's what I said. I said I'm not looking for a pen pal.
But who's trying to do that?
A lot of them. I had so many.
I think those are the dudes that got wives at home. Straight up.
Yes,
true.
Straight up.
Yes,
they looking
or
for pen pals. Or catfish.
Yeah, they just want the attention.
Scammers
or they're in jail, because apparently jail has
they got burner phones.
Sex,
They got burner phones.
Plus they got an online web.
That's nuts. That's
crazy.
Nuts.
I only learned that because of that show.
Love After Lockup.
Love After Lockup.
I didn't even know that.
I
didn't even know
they
that.
They have like, this lady said there's a whole website, right, for wanting to date an inmate. It's fucking insane.
But what has to be wrong with a woman? How insecure do you need to be that you're specifically looking for a man that's behind?
She figures he ain't going nowhere.
Exactly.
And he ain't cheating.
No.
And you
Not
can
with
somehow maybe show your loyalty by holding him down while he's back there.
Yeah.
Like, but
you're right, though. It definitely is insecurity, because that show that we watched, you would see like the women would get like more insecure when they get out of prison, because they're like, it was easier to date you when you were in prison,
because
at least I knew where you
locked
were.
Up.
I knew that your situation was controlled. You know,
and the 90-day, like, you could just see the desperation of everyone. To just, it's insane. It's insane. It is sad. It is sad.
Yeah.
Can you see how tall a man is? Like, do they put their stats like I'm 5'3", I'm this and this and that?
They lie, but they put it.
They do lie.
They
Many
lie.
of them lie up.
Of course they lie up. So I always deduct 2
inches.
I deduct 2 inches. So if he says he's 5'11", I'll be like, he's 5'9", maybe 5'10", maybe.
That's
they lie.
insane.
Yeah.
The tall ones don't lie. They don't.
The tall ones don't.
The tall ones don't lie.
If it says 6, it's usually 6.
Yeah, 6 and up, you're safe with the number. That's the crazy part.
Did y'all hear about that dude that spazzed out in the Bagel Boss?
I didn't.
Because he's short and he felt the way. Let me play this clip real quick, because this went viral apparently because he was wilding out.
Why is that okay? Why is it okay for women to say, oh, you're 5 feet on dating sites? You should be dead? That's okay?
Who said that to you here? Nobody.
Women in general have said it on dating sites. You think I'm making that shit up? Everywhere I go, I get the same fucking smirk with the biting lip. Shut your mouth. You're not God or my father or my boss. Dude, you want to step outside? You want to step outside?
Oh my God.
I'm not scared of you, pal.
And you gotta see this guy. He is really little.
Shut up, dude. Look,
He
go
looks
ahead and
shorter
attack
than
me.
5 feet.
Somebody took him out.
I just wanted bagels.
2 pieces?
Yeah, somebody took him out.
Some 6
Dropped
foot
him.
person took him out.
He was like, all right, you've been going on for too
They have
long.
to do him like
A tall dude did him, man.
How is he bugging like that in the Bagel Boys? They don't serve liquor there.
I don't even know. I heard some
He
stories.
probably got
after
rejected that morning.
Mm-hmm.
At the Bagel Bowl.
But it's
I
like,
want to
why
know
are you
if
taking
female
out
out here
everybody?
talking about you 5'2" die. That's so funny.
Oh my goodness.
That's gangster.
You know, that's not even my style. I wouldn't do that.
That was wow.
That was real extra, but he clearly felt away. Like,
No, he thought she was laughing at him.
God. Can you imagine?
No.
Oh my God. He clearly has a complex.
Bendito.
Ay, pobrecito.
But I know there's a lot of women out there that don't want a dude that's shorter than them.
You know, the height thing, while I perpetuate this madness, it really at the end of the day shouldn't matter. It should
Shouldn't.
not matter. But it does, and for various reasons for different people. For me, first of all, my dad is like 6'2", and my mom is like my height. Mm-hmm. So I've watched that all of my life, and I always thought it was cute. They're still together. They're like this couple, and so I kind of imagined that that's how I would be with my future husband. Mm-hmm. But in addition to that, and this is my own hang up, and I recognize that I need to work on that. The physical stature of a man, for some reason, and it may not even be true, I equate it to like safety and security. And it may not even be true. It's probably a false sense because I'm automatically thinking I'm gonna be protected by this tall guy, and he could be a pussy, you know.
There's a lot of those.
Yeah, I've met some,
and there's some sort of dudes that are willing to scrap for their family all day. They will step in front of a bullet to protect their family.
Yeah,
my father's shorter than me, and my father's ready to scrap.
Yeah, yeah. My brothers-in-law, both of my brothers-in-law are actually shorter men. Well, they're not short, but you know. But they are like ride or die for their family. Like they go hard for their family, you know?
Yeah.
I just want you at least, well, and this is hard too, because I guess I'm not tall, but anyway.
Too tall.
I might go 5'6" is not, it shouldn't be tall, but I guess it's tall.
Today, too,
today
so
I have on heels, so
like 5'8", 5'9".
I want the guy to at least be my height in heels.
Yeah.
Heels.
Yeah.
I'm short, so I don't usually have that problem.
Yeah. Right. The world is your oyster. The world is your oyster.
Before you, of course, my love.
Good answer.
But I do think that if I were single now, I would, while I am more physically attracted to taller men, I would work on seeing past that and work on trying to evaluate the person's heart. And of course, I still need to be physically attracted to their body and all of that and the way they present themselves. But I think I would do away with the height requirement that I've had since 19 years old.
And there's some women who have to kind of do away with that because they're tall. Like there's some women out there that are like close to 6 feet.
Yeah.
It's like you're not going to find that many dudes that are taller than you.
These tall dudes are problems anyway. These motherfuckers out here are problems. They know they're in high demand.
Yes. Yeah.
And they're acting accordingly.
And can I just say that y'all talked about sexual myths and things before? One of those being just because it's a big man means he got a big penis. That is a lie.
Facts.
It is a lie. The biggest penis that I've had was a dude that was probably like 5'7".
Facts. Me too. And the smallest I had was a 6'2".
Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny?
I can't picture that.
Yes. Oh my God.
I didn't either.
Oh my God. You just
I
reminded
surprised
me.
too.
I had a micro.
You had a micro.
I had a micro.
I had a micro.
I had a micro. But it grew.
Saw a micro.
Oh my goodness. It grew to be like average, just below average.
No, my
size?
micro was micro.
Micro hard.
No,
Hard.
real micro is
Oh
tiny.
my goodness.
No, yeah, real micro
No, it's
is
not
like
some other
What do you
shit.
do with
baby
that?
size.
Oh
fully
my
erect.
God.
You go home, bitch. That's the fuck you do.
Oh, tell them to pass you that vibrator.
Like, I gotta go.
Do they have micro vaginas? Like that'll match up?
Nah.
Oh. Well, that's it for part 1 of Internet Dating. We will see you guys next week for episode 16 to continue our conversation. But for now, you know, I always got to go through my spiel. If you want to email us, send it to...
Wait.
What?
Are we going to do the affirmation? Do we have 2 separate?
Are we going to have 2 separate affirmations?
No, we were gonna have one to finish.
Okay,
the
so
total.
next week, Mel will give you her affirmation.
All right.
Good point,
Sorry.
Natasha. Next week, Mel will give us the culminating affirmation for this topic. But if you want to send us an email, send it to thecommonwomanpodcast@gmail.com, or you can DM us at The Common Woman Podcast on IG or at Common Woman Pod on Twitter. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.